Hello, Miss Hannah. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll just be asking you a couple questions about the 2021 Grand Final, Melbourne versus Bulldogs.
Thank you for having me. I know it's a very exciting time for all us Demon supporters, so more than happy to answer some questions today.
So your first question is, what does your team winning the flag mean to you?
I think it's been a long time coming for all of us. I know that I was first inspired to be a Demon supporters by Mrs. Walsh back in grade 1 when she taught me. So I think that since that was like 18 years ago, so it's been a long time coming, and I think that winning that would be a bit of a very exciting time for all of us, but very exciting.
Well, you basically already answered my second question. Why did you barrack for Demons?
Yep, and it was so Mrs. Walsh, she was my grade 1 teacher, and I went in and I think we had a footy colours day, and my family went for Carlton, and I didn't really like those colours, so I decided to not go with that. And Mrs. Walsh, being the teacher that she was, just got me on her side because I don't think she had too many supporters, and that's why I landed there. So
your third question is, who's your favourite player on the Melbourne Demons team?
I have a few favourite players, but I'd probably say at the moment Clayton Oliver, only because he's a local boy, and it's just I think he's really shining at the moment, which is good. So I'd probably say Clayton.
And your last question is, who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
Oh gosh. I feel like Max Gawn might have a good chance, but I'm not really good at guessing those things. So I don't know, maybe.
Well, that's all, Miss Hannah. Thank you for being here again.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
It's all right. All right. Hello, Mr. Sutherland. I'm Andy, and I just want to say thank you for joining this meeting and being able to talk to me.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for having me today. Beautiful sunshiny day it is.
Yeah, it is. So I'll just be asking you a couple questions about the grand final, Western Bulldogs versus Demons. I know you probably want Demons to win. I think I want Bulldogs to win, but yeah.
Oh, what? Absolutely want. Can you, when you word that, can you make sure it's Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs, because we finished on top, so they need to be first. Thanks. Good job.
Melbourne versus Bulldogs, I guess. So your first question is, what does your team winning the flag mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well, all my family are Melbourne. So my mum and dad, my sister, and so their dad's 63, 64. He was only young when they won their last flag. So it's pretty special in our household, in our family as well. We've seen a lot of terrible years where we haven't been very successful at all. But this year, hopefully, things will be different. It's just even great to see them in a grand final. I remember watching the 2000 grand final against a very undisciplined Essendon Bombers. So that was pretty disappointing, but it's been 21 years since then. So hopefully we can get the chocolates.
All right. Your second question is, why did you end up barracking for Melbourne Demons?
I went for Melbourne Demons because of my family. My dad pretty much said, if you're not going to go for the Demons, you won't be going to watch any AFL games down at the MCG and things like that. So I didn't really have a choice, Andy. But my mum's dad went for the Bulldogs. Okay, so when I was growing up, he tried to convince me to be a Western Bulldogs or a Footscray supporter back in the day. So I'd be happy. He's not alive anymore, but Western Bulldogs are okay if they win. Okay, yeah, they're probably my second team.
All right. What's your favourite player?
My favourite player. You can't really go past Maxi Gawn, especially the last couple of weeks. He's played some fantastic games. Really brought the best out of him. Kicking 4 goals in the third quarter on the weekend was pretty special as well. I don't mind the likes of Oliver Petrarca. Those boys, they get plenty of possessions. But David Neitz, Gary Lyon, when I was growing up, they were superstars. But they're obviously not playing anymore. So yeah, there's not many players I don't like. Just the ones that go to other teams.
Yeah, good decision. And your last question is, who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
I think Clayton Oliver will win the Norm Smith medal. I think he'll have about 39 possessions, kick 3 goals, and he's going to be pretty hard to stop.
I like it.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Miss O. Hello, Mr. Mollison. I'm Andy, and I just want to say thank you for being here and letting us interview you.
Oh, it's all right, Andy. Thanks for having me, mate.
It's all right. So your first question will be, what does your team winning the flag mean to you?
Oh, wow. Well, I've gone for Melbourne, I think, as long as I can remember. And I reckon I've seen them go through a lot of heartache. I remember watching them time after time and watching them lose time after time as well. So to see them have just such a successful year, it's really makes me feel pretty good to be a Melbourne supporter right now.
Second question is, why did you barrack for Melbourne?
Well, on my father's side, there's a long history of Melbourne supporters along there. So I actually thought my dad barracked for Melbourne as well, because he used to take me to Melbourne games all the time. And it turns out he's actually a St Kilda supporter. So all of his brothers and sisters, they all went for Melbourne. And I think they convinced me to go for Melbourne. And my dad, he followed Saints because his mother barracked for Saints as well. So he was the one Saints supporter on that side.
Your third question is, who's your favourite player on the Melbourne Demons team?
Well, at the moment, I'd have to say Maxi Gawn. I'm convincing my son Albie to try and go for Melbourne. I'm always pointing out Gawny because he's got the big beard. He's pretty impressive. But I know back in the day, I used to love Gary Lyon and David Swartz and Stephen Tingay, all those greats. I used to love watching them run around.
And your last question is, who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
Clayton Oliver. Put your house on it, Andy.
Oh, well, that's all, Mr. Mollison. Thank you for being here again.
No worries. Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's all right.
Hi, Eliada. Thank you for inviting me to chat with you today.
It's fine. Okay, so let's start off with the first question. What does your team winning the flag mean to you?
Oh, it means heaps to me, because I have supported Melbourne for a really, really, really long time. And I've watched them only for participation in 2 grand finals in 1988 when Hawthorn smashed them. And then I watched them again in 2000 and Essendon smashed them. So now I'm really, really hopeful that at last I might see them win a grand final.
Okay, for the next session, why did you barrack for your team?
I barracked for Melbourne because when I was really, really little, my dad was an avid Richmond supporter, and I had 3 sisters at that time, and we decided that we would take a team each. And at that point, Melbourne had won a lot of grand finals, so I thought, well, I'm going to go for Melbourne. One of my other sisters went for St Kilda and one went for Essendon, and I think one went for the Swans. So I went for Melbourne, but they have never won a grand final since I started barracking for them, way back when they were winning lots of grand finals. So that's how I came to barrack for Melbourne. I think I was choosing a team that were winners, and I thought they were going to be winners forever. But they have not won a grand final since. We spent a lot of years on the bottom of the ladder, but I've been loyal.
Third question is, what's your favourite player?
My favourite player, and I think every player is pretty special in the Melbourne team at the moment, but my favourite player, I think, is Petrarca. I really like Petrarca. I think he's got a bit of personality and he's got great skills. And I think he brings a lot to their team. So I really like Petrarca.
All right, so who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
Well, I think maybe Petrarca and Oliver have had great seasons. They've been playing really well, but I think it might be either one of them. But I'm going to go for Petrarca. And I know Maxi's been playing really well, but he only played really well last week, and he's been a good player all year, but I think his best game was last game. So, but I think Petrarca and Oliver have been playing really well all year, so I'm going to go for Petrarca.
That's all. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for interviewing me, and I hope the D's win the grand final of 2021. I will be so excited.
Hello, Miss Walsh. I'm Andy Rizza. I just wanted to say thank you for coming here with us and letting us interview you.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Sorry. What does your team winning the flag mean to you?
Oh my goodness. I have been waiting all my life for this, Andy. I was at the 2000 grand final when we got beaten by Essendon, and it will be a dream come true. I've had lots and lots of teasing along the way because Melbourne's often been at the bottom of the ladder. So I am just thrilled that we are in a chance to win the grand final this year.
Why did you barrack for Melbourne?
So I have barracked for Melbourne all my life, but I guess I probably picked Melbourne because our team, local team, were the Redlegs. So when I was growing up, and I had a tiny, tiny teddy that was red and blue. So I think I've just always gone for Melbourne in my heart.
Who's your favourite player in Melbourne?
I have so many. I think when I was little, about your age, Alan Jakovic was my favourite player, but now it's got to be Big Maxi Gawn. He is a champ.
Yeah, he is. And one more question. Who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
Oh, I think it's going to be someone from Melbourne, but there's so many options. We could be Petrarca, could be Oliver, but I think Big Maxi's going to do it again 2 weeks running. I think it'll be him.
Looks like I reckon Maxi might get it as well. Well, thank you, Miss Walsh, for letting us interview again, and I hope your team goes well.
Thanks. Go D's!
Hello, Tayla.
Hi, Andy.
And I just want to say thank you for staying here.
That's okay.
I'll just be asking you a couple questions about the grand final, Melbourne versus Bulldogs.
Sure.
So the first question is, what does your team winning the flag mean to you?
Winning the flag would mean so much to me, I think. Being a Melbourne supporter, just the satisfaction of winning. We haven't won one since 1964, so it's a pretty long time since we won a grand final. Melbourne means the world to me. I've had a cousin play for Melbourne, and hopefully we can get it done.
Your second question is, why did you go for Melbourne?
My whole family's been a Melbourne supporters. So growing up, I had no choice to be a Melbourne supporter. Just with my cousin, some of you might know Adam Uze used to play for Melbourne. He's now an assistant coach with Melbourne. So, yeah, that's why I chose to stay and be a loyal supporter.
Your third question is, who's your favourite player for Melbourne?
Oh, that's a tough one. I can't go past Max Gawn. I've always liked him. I've got a second one is Clayton Oliver as well. They're my two favourite ones.
Yeah, and your last question is, who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
Oh, good question. I'm going to go with Clayton Oliver this year. I think he's had a really good season and he's got a good chance of winning that.
I agree, a Melbourne win, but I don't reckon Melbourne are going to win.
I'm not very confident either, but hopefully we'll get it done.
Well, that's all. Thank you for staying here again.
No worries. Thanks, Andy.
Hello, Mr Darma. I'm Andy, and I just want to say thank you for staying here and being able to talk to me.
Yeah, no problem, Andy. Look forward to your questions.
So I'll just be asking you about questions about the grand final, Melbourne versus Bulldogs.
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. So very excited.
My first question is, what does your team winning the flag mean to you?
Well, it's certainly got me. It would be incredible, to be honest, to come from where we've come from in the last few weeks. We lost the last 3 games of the year. We were out of the top 4. People gave us no chance of winning. I was thinking we even get beaten by Essendon in the first week of the finals and be out straight away. But we won that game. We had an incredible game against Brisbane, and now we've we had a terrific match against Port Adelaide as well. So to do one more and take away a premiership would be, I would just be over the moon.
Yeah, I would be over the moon if Essendon won another premiership as well. Your second question is, why did you barrack for Melbourne?
I don't barrack for Melbourne.
Oh, I mean Bulldogs. Sorry.
Yeah. I barrack for the Bulldogs. Yeah. Well, I barrack for Bulldogs. Really, I think it might sound strange, but I like dogs. And when I was a kid, I really liked having dogs in the family. And then there was a couple of players that played for them when I was in early primary school that I really liked. Simon Beasley was one of them. So I just liked a couple of the players and started barracking for them, and that was it.
Your third question is, who's your favourite player from Bulldogs?
Oh, I can't go past the Bont, Marcus Bontempelli. He's a superstar of the competition, so he's definitely a favourite player. Although, having said that, I really like Libba, and I like Cody Waitman as well. Just his energy on the field. So I actually feel like there's a whole lot of players that could fit into that category.
Yeah, I agree about Bontempelli. I don't think anyone could go past him.
Yeah.
And your last question is, who do you think will win the Norm Smith medal?
The Norm Smith medal? Well, I think I could easily say Bontempelli. That would be a popular choice. Although maybe I'll go a little bit, something a little bit different. Jackson McRae is a very consistent performer, and I think he could pop up, kick a couple of goals, unexpected goals, have a lot of possessions, and possibly win the Norm Smith. So I'll go with Jack McRae.
Good decision. All right, thank you, Mr. Darma. That's all, and just thank you for being here again.
No worries. Thanks, Andy. See you, mate.
No problem.